It is Friday. It is Stash Wars Live. What's up, guys? Mike the Six Layer chilling here with the homies. We are back at our own labs. I'm chilling with my main honorable villain, Mark the Honorable Villain. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Back from OAX. Still haven't recovered, man. Still dying, but you know, we came out good. We came out good.
Yeah, and as always, we got our resident art eclectic collector, Jason the Southern Comic Geek. How you doing, brother?
I'm about the same as you and Mark. Wore out from OAX, trying to get life back on track, and the con season is not slowing down to give me any free time.
Man, that's for sure. The constant has not slowed down. We just started. OAX is kind of the prelude, and we're gonna unpack that in a couple moments. But as you guys trickle on in, make sure you smash the like button, and yes, and trickle into the chat. We want to hear all the cats that are at OAX. We want to know what was your opinions, your reflections on OAX. We're gonna get into that, and also, what were some of your favorite pickups from OAX if you picked anything up? We're going to talk about that for sure tonight. And then we got a couple special treats that we're going to show from our special coverage from OAX. So Mark, I want to get things going. Now, we were invited to OAX. This is our first time going to OAX, and this is the third year. But we were tasked to cover pretty much things that wasn't art related, right? Yeah. And being the Six Layers and being the premier signature channel all over the place, right? Yeah, we wanted to bring the Six, and we brought the heat, right? Yeah. I just gotta show you guys this because we definitely brought the heat. Cats were buried. So many names here, guys, at OAX. It was like it had almost a big show's worth of talent, but the show was small. And that was the most intriguing fact about OAX. And you see, we got a side Ribic here. And this guy was a machine. Were you guys able to visit this table?
That was an original piece he was doing?
Yeah, dude. I saw him do about 3 of those.
That's crazy. I didn't make my way. I kept on seeing him every now and then. He was partying a lot. I kept on seeing him hanging out with Aranga. Aranga was hanging out with them.
And great David Finch. This dude's buried. Look at all these SIGs, man. Would you believe all of these are gone already? They're gone. They're absolutely gone. They didn't even make it to Friday. But yes, OAX. We did our thing. I think I got almost 500 SIGs at this show. And it was fantastic. Yeah. Jason, you've been to every one, right?
I didn't get to the first one. I did. This is the second.
Okay, so give us your reflections of this year, and then compare it to last year. But first, isolate this year.
So this year was great, as always. Got an all-star lineup, and be interested for you and Mark, who do more signatures than even I do. Your experience and being able to walk straight up to the table pretty much everywhere and get your signatures as opposed to long lines. But yeah, so no, it was a great show. Lots of stuff to see. And as great as that all was, it was a very chillax show. I mean, just walk into the room, like the conversations you get into, walk into the room with somebody and you get out of one conversation, you're going into another conversation. The portfolios that were prolific around the tables everywhere. And it's just a great chill experience. So,
Mark, what about you? It was our first time there. What you think about OAX?
So OAX, dude. So that was a difficult task that Kazra gave us because everything at OAX is art related. The only person that wasn't an artist there, I think, was Louise Simonson because she was with Walt Simonson. But I loved the Kirby Awards, seeing everyone get their flowers there. Bronny Jr. was talking about that. That made you guys laugh. But Yeah, so you guys got to check out some of the recap on like some of the Kirby awards. The auction was crazy. I think what was the highest price that you guys heard something sell for? Like 15K, right?
It was like 17 G's or something like that.
Was it the Hughes piece was the largest or second largest, and that was over 15. After you
Yeah.
got the Florida sales tax added in there, that certainly bumped
I
that
think
up.
the only thing, and then the after parties were, I think that the second after or the Kirby Awards was open to everyone. The first after party was for VIPs only. Those were fun. I think the only thing we didn't go to was the bub crawl. Did you go to that, Jason?
No, but I hear it was a great success, especially because the weather was more accommodating this year than last year.
But I loved my time, man. It was fun, you know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the She-Hulk one cover. Yeah, so the She-Hulk one cover sold at the show. Yeah, so if y'all remember, it was on the panel page art booth,
Right.
and it was $300,000. So if you'll notice that it was colored because one of the owners at some point after they bought it took it over to I think Pat Olaf or maybe Steve, one of the two,
Yeah,
and got them to color it. Which is kind of a turnoff to a lot of art collectors. But obviously, whoever ponied up $300,000 for it didn't feel that bad about it.
300. Okay, so that's by far
Did
the highest price tag.
Did you guys any of you guys see what the Superman 75 was selling for? What the price range was?
Well, it goes up for auction, and I don't think it's on this Comic Connect. Yeah. So it's with Comic Connect, and I don't think it's going up on this one. I think it's up on the next one. They were just kind of priming the pump.
Okay.
Plus, you got Jurgens there, so it's like and he was like not far from the art, so it's kind of have to do that. All right, so I mean, you mentioned the Kirby Awards, and we're definitely going to talk more about that, Mark. One of the things that I really liked about the OAX was the fact that I got a chance to meet all the people that I interact with on YouTube. In person. So like shout out to Marvel Fan, got a chance to meet him. I got a chance to meet Kavi, who always comments on my artwork on CAF, comments on everybody's artwork. But never met him prior to that. Got a chance to meet Mark from Texas. I saw him on YouTube before, and got a chance to formally meet Bill Cox and Kazra and all those guys. Met Big Field in person for the first time. That was all unprecedented stuff there. The Black Comic Lords. I mean, everybody. What's my man name from Pop Sequentialism? Matt. We talked for a long ass time, based off that conversation that we all had on what's his name on Sunday on Ruben's thing when we were talking about fine art and is comic art fine art. We carried on that discussion for a cool 30 minutes. So it was a really cool show. And then I got a chance to do what I do, Six Slay, and get a chance to meet some of the people behind the artists. Got a chance to meet Simone's I think it was brother or something like that, Ant. Ant was mad cool, and Simone DeMeo, they were all cool. But I would say the number one thing for me was meeting everybody that I see on YouTube, like in person, and everybody was cool, and we all had our all interactions and stuff like that. And then you mentioned it a bit ago, SEG, about the lines, right? Now, if we can get the art chasers and the Six Slayers to have a kumbaya moment, right? So, like, let's say, right? Let's just do a scenario, right? Let's say we are in David Finch's line. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
And the difference between OAX and a regular show, those people that are in those lines are trying to get art. They're trying to get a little sketch. They're trying to get a remark. They're trying to get jam piece. So those lines, although there are not a lot of people in those lines, they move at a snail's pace. So I'm just saying that in order to have a kumbaya moment, because sometimes the artists, they're buried in whatever they're doing. They don't see the line, right? But if the people in line can just say, hey, are you just getting 6? It would suck for somebody have to, it would take somebody to get, what, 2 minutes to get 3-6, less than that probably. So we have to wait an hour till all these jokers get their remarks or jam pieces in order for me to get 3-6.
Well, you like what Simonson did, right? Simonson's like, I'm doing 10 each day. I'm marking your thumbs. I'm putting the number you are on your thumbs, and then come on, signature people first. Let me get through you, and then I'll do the sketches after, right?
Yeah, man. It's like Catherine said, hashtag kumbaya, man. We if we got a couple books, let us get our sayings and get out y'all way. Yeah. Walter Simonson, I mean, those guys, I'm gonna call Walter Simonson's line the hall monitors, man. They're a bunch of hall monitors where they're keeping everybody in line, checking the list and checking it twice, just being just a pain in the ass. I just wanted to say that, even though we were first in line, right? Yeah. We were first in line, and they're all up our ass.
We had to get a time with Simonson.
But Walter Simonson, though, Saint, he made sure, because his line goes slow as hell, right? But he made sure that he prioritized the 6 first, and then he started doing the sketches second. And on that note, if you guys had to pick an artist who was the MVP of the whole OAX, who was it? I know mine.
Yeah, I know mine, man.
Well, for the show or for me personally?
Yeah, yeah, we have to have some subjectivity to it. So I would say, yeah, I would say, yeah.
I mean, because to me, Alan Davis's line was like a madhouse.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had already seen Alan multiple other times, didn't really have anything for him to sign. So for me, hey, I wasn't the guy that was over there in the portfolios and getting sketches from him every day and all that kind of stuff. But I know a lot of people were. His line was certainly packed out.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mark. You have something?
Yeah, but Jason, did you have an MVP? Did you have this was the best person? This is who I wanted to go for. This is who had the best line, the all-in-one, MVP.
Yeah, well, I mean, I might be a little bit
biased
because of what I picked up from a certain artist there, which is not going to be announced till April. But
okay,
it's a comics related to comics curing cancer. But that's all I'm at liberty to say.
See, Finch booked in the first 5 minutes. Now, see, here's the thing, guys. See, all you guys, that's the other thing. I wanted to know how I fared there, right? Any line I wanted to be first in, I was first in. So he said Finch booked in the first 5 minutes each day. If I wanted a Finch sketch, I could have got it. But guess what? Because I didn't, I forewent my sketch op and gave it to someone else. Because all I wanted was 6. You see how that worked?
What a guy!
I spared somebody because I was number 2 in David Finch's line on Friday, and so but I would say MVP. Oh no, Mark, MVP.
I think you know my answer, man. So we interviewed him. He got the award, man. Okay. I got a sketch from him, man. Walt Simonson, man. I think MVP, man. I think. And he was kind of like a surprise guest. They announced him last minute, and
that's true.
And I was like, damn, Walt Simonson, man. I was like, so I was really excited that he was there and just seeing him and interviewing him and just everything. It was perfect time,
Okay.
James was in the chat earlier, and we mentioned Alan Davis, and a lot of people picked up some big pieces. I know James was one of them. Of course, you can check out his calf gallery to see that. But James is no stranger to fantastic pieces. He also picked up a cover from House of M by Assad Ribic.
What, really?
Yeah. So his calf gallery is full of awesome sauce. So
okay, so here we go. We got Walt and Allen are tied for MVP. And then Allen still killed it. Yeah, Allen. I mean, he's a wizard with that pencil, dude. It's insane. I would say this, though, guys. MVP for me, for the 6 Slayer, hands down, and for me to meet him for the first time ever, is Phil Hester, dude. Phil Hester, free cigs all day long, and he was doing free remarks, and they were pretty detailed. I got one. Big Phil got one. Paul got one. He was doing them for free, and they were like, he did one for me on a 5x7 card. He was doing these for free all weekend long, so you didn't have to wait till the free that free section on Sunday. Phil Hester was free 99 all weekend on those and cigs. So I like the old school cats that do it that way. That they get paid for what they known for, which is art. You know, I show up at a con, you're paying me for art, forget the cigs, right? And then I met George Pratt for the first time. I don't even know if people even remember who he is, but I got a chance to meet him on Sunday, got my cigs, and so that was cool. But MVP, hands down, is Phil Hester.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I probably should.
Fine to hear the word free all over OAX. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this: over at Phil Hester's table, man, it was free all day, man, and he was doing not just phoning it in. I mean, people were asking for like obscure characters, and he was actually nailing it. Or I mean, talking about like remark size. I mean, people charged $7,500 for what he was doing for free, and he was penciling and inking. So Phil Hester, number one. Okay, let's talk about the Kirby Awards real quick, guys, because I really thought that we were at a historic moment. I didn't realize it until I was actually there, and then I actually saw the prototype of the Kirby Award trophy, and seeing his grandkids, and just hearing the speeches, it just made me realize I was really at a special event. And so I will always, remember that moment. And so, what were your thoughts about the Kirby Awards, SCG?
I mean, I feel like it's done great. I mean, obviously, a lot of thought, preparation. Hats off to Bill and certainly Kazra for putting that all together, and all the other people that were on the board, which were recognized at the show. But putting something together of that magnitude and getting everybody to show up and making it work, especially the first time out, is something to behold. So I was glad I was there for that. It was great.
What about you, Mark?
Man, my number one artist, though, man. My guy who's always on my top 5, man. When you ask me who's my top artist of all time, and I'm glad
Frank Miller?
Nah, man. He's up there, but Kirby, man. So I don't know. I love that they came out with everything. It was just full on Kirby love, and then they had the Command D, the full issue there, and everything. So I just felt the love for Kirby, and then I always feel that he doesn't get his flowers enough, as much as he really deserves, as much as Stan Lee usually gets flowers. But man, I loved hearing everyone talk about Kirby and what Kirby meant to them. So like if you rewatch the awards, Kevin Nolan talks about him, Walt Simonson talks about him, JR talks about him. So I just loved being there, man, and yeah, I thought it was a momentous occasion,
I fell out when John Romita Jr. called himself Bronny James, man. I'm like, dude, don't even disrespect yourself by calling yourself that. Like, he triggered the hell out of me. He said, Bronny James, you know how great you are? You're calling yourself, he's a bum, right?
Yeah, don't diss yourself like that.
Do you watch the NBA, JR? Don't call yourself Bronny. Don't do that. You're a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Shamer. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I got to show you guys this. We have the privilege of interviewing one of the recipients of the Kirby Awards, the teacher, the great teacher, Walter Simonson, guys. Check this out.
first annual Jack and Roz Kirby Awards. We're here with award recipient Walt Simonson, famous creator, famous artist. What does it mean to get one of the first Jack and Roz Kirby Awards in the category of teaching? Who are some of the students that you've taught? We know that we've talked to John Bogdanov. He called you on the phone and you told him straight up how to get into the industry, step by step. What are some other examples that you've taught people?
Well, John, we used to live in Manhattan on the west side. John lived in the boat base, and he was on a houseboat, and he read Power Pack that my wife wrote, June Brigman drew, and he recognized all the locations because we did it so that she used a lot of reference. We photographed the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
She ended up drawing, the kids in the comic went to the schools our daughter went to.
Yeah.
So John, who lived right there, went, wait, this is IS 44. This is PS 87. It was all right inland from his house, or his houseboat. So they looked in the phone book. We were in the phone book. He called us up, and we had an hour conversation about stuff, about how to get into comics. So in the actual teaching that I did, I had several students, number of students who were really good. They did not all go into comics. The one who went into comics who was really brilliant was John Paul Leon, who did Earth X and a lot of stuff. And John Paul was phenomenal. He died in his early 40s, a real tragedy. He became ill, and that was kind of that. But really good guy, annoyingly sweet guy. He's not a guy you could hate. He was sweet. He was incredibly talented. He was very generous, and it was really, as I said, it was annoying. But he was just a really good friend, and I don't know that I taught him much. He was really good to begin with, but I reviewed his stuff. I went over their work. I had students who couldn't do 4 pages in a month as a junior, and John Paul was doing the entire issue of Static for Milestone, along with the cover. So he was doing about 23 pages a month of pencils. And we worked it out, so he just had to show that stuff to me. I would critique it. He didn't have to do any of the other assignments in the rest of the class. So he did that. I reviewed it. He learned by leaps and bounds. The stuff was good to begin with. It was wonderful by the end of the year and even beyond. So I had one student, Brandon Perla. Brandon was a computer guy, wanted to do computer modeling. He went to school after SVA. I went to RISD. He went to school after SVA and in computer modeling, up in Canada, I think, learned to do it, and then became a professional computer modeler. And ultimately became a teacher himself, which I thought was great. So I had other really talented students. Some of them I know where they went, some of them, no idea. Some of them still keep in touch. Like some of them become illustrators, Gene DeSico, and it's very satisfying to see how their lives turn out, even if they don't go into illustration. It's just nice to have successful lives, and that's your best hope when you're teaching.
Do you have one last thing to say about Jack and Roz as inspirations, just receiving that reward?
Oh man, I think I said a lot of it on the stage, but from Jack, when I first saw his work, I was blown away by it. I didn't know who the hell he was. I did read his stuff. There are several artists whose work I love, and I go back and study them from time to time. Jack's stuff I sucked in and I internalized so deeply that if I never see another Jack Kirby comic, I'm still going to be influenced by him. As it happens, I do look at other Jack Kirby comics, but I'm a major fan of the Fourth World stuff. But Jack, he had energy. That's the part I've tried to capture. He had energy, and he had characterization and acting in the work. His imagination for anything was spectacular. I remember reading DC comics, I'll mention no names, but they'd be spaceships, and they were very much derived from the old Flash Gordon serials and stuff like that. Jack's spaceships looked alien. They looked like nothing else anybody was doing. So not only were his costumes imaginative and really graphic, which appealed to me, I'm a graphic artist, but they were so different from anything anybody else was doing until you got enough artists who were younger who began copying Jack Kirby, possibly me included. And I get that. I understand. They were just amazing to see. So he was really just a Promethean giant in comic books. And he brought so much to the business and created so much that it's an honor to be given an award named for Jack and Roz that I'm I'm deeply grateful, and I like Kevin Nolan, I believe, said, I'm very humbled.
All love to Walt, man.
What are your thoughts on that, Mark?
I love that he kind of recapped on what we talked about with John Bogdanov, and I love that he has his story, his side on that. But talking about John Paul Leon, like I love those static issues, man. I love that he gave that real look to those milestone comics, and yeah, it was it's kind of sad to hear about his relationship with him, and then how he tragically died so young and everything. But that, and then him talking about Kirby, I just love hearing Kirby get his flowers.
Well, what about you? What do you think about when you think about Walter Simonson, SEG? What do you think of?
Certainly a pillar in the comic book industry, who has created, memorable characters, whether his Thor run, which is still talked about till this day, whether it's Apocalypse over on the X-Men side, certainly, being married to Louise Simonson kind of cements their couple, power in the industry. But such a nice guy. Like anytime I've ever met him, because some people can be, and I get it, they're under pressure, just like the rest of us are, but he just seems so chill and so nice. The kind of guy, wish he was your grandpa, and he'd come over and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, man. I think when I think of Walter, man, I think he's just so sincere. Like he's just a sincere dude, straightforward, straight up and down, no nuance, no innuendo. What you see is what you get, but what you get is a good dude. And and a legend is an understatement. And then just to go to Cavs, yeah, man, we had to grab him, man. We saw Walter leave. I was going to the restroom, and we saw Walter and Wheezy leave. And I did my little hand signal to Mark, and we was out there. We was out there, man. We made that happen.
Quick.
And then OAX, I mean, we had to talk about art. We talked about signatures, but we had to talk about art too. And one of the things that I thought about at OAX this year was when they said that they were going to be showcasing Simone DeMeo's X-Men of Apocalypse art there, right? Like a whole issue and all of that. And I remember when they had a sale when Matt DiTullio and was on the CAF Plus channel, and like damn near every page sold of issue number 1 when Matt was there, and I was like, oh man! And so like that actually put Simone on a map to me, because I was like, damn, like who is this dude when everybody like bought damn near every page? Now I did have some of his comics, from Batman and Robin, but I wasn't on it like that, where it's like, okay, I have to get a page from him and stuff. And so once they announced that they were going to have his art showcased at OAX, I was really excited because, well, one, he's talented, and two, I thought he was a digital artist. And so once I found out that he does all this wizardry with his ink work, I was even more impressed. And so getting a chance to interview Simone DeMeo at his first U.S. gallery, I thought that was an honor as well.
The first annual Jack
and so
Rob,
we're gonna check that out real quick.
With the great Simone DeMeo. We're here at OAX with the great Simone DeMeo, the great Italian artist. We have his art showcased here in its entirety. What does it mean to have a full issue of your art to be showcased at OAX?
It's something for me. So it's first time for me that I have a showcase in US after years and years of work with company from here. So it's really important, and it's like a little crazy to me to see all the pages all together, like from my computer, like as a file. But this is the real life. So and I'm so happy about that. It's something that I will remember for sure.
And then Jeff Loeb is back on the X-Men. What does it mean to be doing that X-Men book with Jeff Loeb?
The crazy thing is that Jeff called me.
Yeah.
So Jeff called me and we talked about this series before, some months before, and during my last period in DC Comics, and he tell me what we will do, and I'm just thinking, okay, I can do something important like an X-Men series with Jeff Loeb. Yes, I mean, absolutely.
All right, Simone, your art looks super digital, but it's all traditional, correct?
Yeah.
Can you tell us how you lay out a page?
Yeah. So I usually do layout in digital, just because I prefer to the facility, the simplicity of change something in digital, and after I print a rough version of the pencils, and with the light table or something like that, usually I do all the inks in traditional, rescan the page, and color in digital. So it's just a long a long way to do a page, but it's something that I like to do.
You're both penciler and inker. I know how hard it is.
All right, so Simone, I got a bunch of X-Men Apocalypse signed from OAX, but what are you guys' thoughts on Simone as an artist?
I think if he gets some more volume, because I'm pretty sure to get his art so perfect, he takes a little more time on it. But I think if he has a little more volume and if he comes out with some good books, man, he's gonna be up there with my top 5 artists. He's gonna be up there with George Perez, Kirby, Mike.
Yeah, really?
It looks like, man, I really dig his stuff. But if he gets those key projects, if he gets really good projects, if he gets put on really good books, and he gets more volume in his resume, I think he's gonna be a superstar one day.
I thought something that was interesting. It didn't make the cut because I didn't have the cameras rolling. The audio was rolling, but the cameras wasn't rolling. Where Simone mentioned that this X-Men of Apocalypse project was very difficult for him because it challenged his style as it pertained to the character designs and the costumes. The old X-Men style versus he's very manga and anime influence, and so he has a very new style. And so he told us that he had to convert his style to an older way, and that was very challenging for him. It was a good challenge, but he definitely expressed wanting to, after this project is over, being able to flex his muscles back to the style that he wants, the world to know him as. And so I really thought that was interesting.
Man, all I could think about when I was watching that though, right now, I was like, damn, that was Sunday, man. I look so rough right now, man. After the all-nighters and everything, after the show, I was like, fuck, I look rough, man.
Well, no, actually, you did a great job there, Mark. And there was only 2 questions, I think, questions that everybody was thinking. One, how'd you get your hair to be so perfect? Maybe it's just me being jealous that you have hair. But the second question is to ask Simone, how does Jeff Loeb feel that you can actually finish a project on time? Because I know that Jeff Loeb happens to be working. Too soon?
Woo! Oh man! Oh, Jim Lee! Oh man! Oh my God! All right, so we're gonna get on that later. SCG, you already on it. All right, all right. So Simone is. Let's read this comment because I think we're all in agreement that Simone DeMeo is the future, and he's the truth. Like the cat is sick, and I actually love his style. And so definitely I think Simone maybe does fully get the credit he deserves as right now because the style is different than most. has a very futuristic style. Exactly. And the thing about it is, he believes that too. He said that his style is very new, very, futuristic, and having to go to old character designs was a challenge, but it was a good challenge. All right, so talking about, your favorite artist that's not Frank Miller. So, you got Frank Miller 1A, and then you got this guy 1B, right? Another awesome gallery that was at OAX was I've never seen this amount of Kirby art just all in my face, let alone Commandy, DC stuff, because that's what I'm about, so like getting to see the Commandy stuff, that was cool. And I got to give you props, SCG, because right before we taped this segment, you pulled Xavier from Heritage Oxen in, and brought him along. And so let's check this out.
Sig Slayer Station, Mike and Mark and the crew, and we're in here just admiring the awesome artwork that's available here at OAX. This year it's Commandy, the legend himself, Mr. Jack Kirby, Commandy 7, I believe. And we're here with Xavier from Heritage Auctions, the premier auction source. Did I have to say that to get you on? Okay.
But you didn't have to say it, but.
But we figured we want to get his expertise and dealing with big stuff all the time. He's used to has come to Heritage, and so we roped him into here. And so, hey, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's just like, again, in front of a nice Kirby story. And one of the things is, again, it's complete. You have the cover, and you have the 20-page story rolling around the whole gallery. And one of the coolest things that this particular gallery has is that they have at least the copies of the Kirby's pencils, which most of the time you don't get to see. So you actually have the copy of his pencils with the ink piece, so you can see the process of the comic book making. And again, everybody knows Kirby, the king. This particular time period of Kirby is when he left Marvel and went to DC because for differences of ideas, pretty much, because he wanted to create all these characters at Marvel for the most part, and they thought that the current books were selling too much for them to be canceled or changed over to newer characters. For example, the New Gods, he wanted to, after Ragnarok, he wanted to create the new Asgardians. So if you look at all the character designs for the New Gods, they have Asgardian-like designs. So it's very cool that this time period, because he basically went to DC. He created Marvel before this. He went to DC and then created a whole line of characters and titles that just started blowing up DC as it did Marvel. So,
all right. So SEG, is it true? Is it true? You walked away with 2 Kirbys.
No, I did not. That would be fake news. It's so fake. So you don't ever know.
You don't have any
God.
Kirby's in your collection?
I don't.
Okay.
I have gone close to the mat for several Hulk images, but have not been able to secure one.
Wow, Kirby. I mean, we're talking about big dog material here. All right, speaking of big dog material, I mean, OAX was dope, man. I mean, there's so much stuff to show you guys, and I'm just gonna just show my SIG escapades while we talk. But here's Simone. People were getting these sketch cards. Let me know, guys, in the chat. What did you guys get? Who did you guys get sketch cards from? Did you guys get those sketch cards on Sunday? What artists did you get? Let us know in the chat right now. There's Phil Hester. I mean, Assad, man, he was just on a rampage the whole weekend. I really like. I had the most fun over there in that corner over there, the Tulio's corner. There you go, Adam Hughes, the legend. I had to bury him in Black Cat Comics, just like I had to bury David Finch here.
Michael
And when
Marvel Comics, crazy.
Oh yeah, Marvel Command had all kind of shit, man. I was not discriminating at OAX, man. I mean, this list was crazy. I mean, for a 6-layer, this list was pretty good. I mean, the Claw is in the chat. He was like, "What, Finch? Finch was at OAX exactly." And you could have went the Claw because I know you go to MegaCon, and this is right down the street from MegaCon.
Yeah.
And then Adam Kubert talking about Marvel right here.
He does all his stuff in paint pen.
Yeah, dude. But he had some futuristic fan right there. Trust me, I was shitting bricks the whole time.
You said he recovered one of yours, right?
Yeah. Oh, dang. I was going to show you which one. It might come back. But yeah, he insisted upon using those paint markers, but he had a nice, snazzy fan.
Oh, that's like a sketch cover, kind of, that she's on.
Yeah. So, y'all, whose creator do you think walked away with the... Oh, whoa. All right, that's an SEG question.
Finch, I think.
Finch, certainly Adam Hughes, Kubert, those would be.
Oh, John Romita probably. John Romita
yeah.
Jr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he had the whole meet and greet thing both days. Alan Davis, yeah.
I think
Alan had some Batman pages from back in the day. I don't know if he ended up selling any, but whew.
What? Are you kidding me?
I think John Romita Jr. had something he has such a good wide resume, and then he had like something for everyone's price point. So he had like head sketches, he had torsos, he had prelims, and they all look good, I feel like John Romita Jr. stuff, and
he even had released certain creator-owned books, didn't he, Mark? I'm not stealing no thunder from you, all right?
Yeah, he had kick-ass pages, man. I think that was the first time they were selling them in the U.S. Yeah, because they said that they sold them at Lake Como, and so this is the first time they were being sold in the U.S., man. So, yeah, and they were some pretty good prices,
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're getting into some segue in here. So let's go ahead and do it then. Let's do it. All right. So let's talk about what we brought home, right? We went to OAX, and then we came back a little bit heavier and our pockets a little bit lighter, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious about Mark, right?
Yeah.
I know SEG got, I know he got a Kirby, he lying. He probably got a page from the first Beta Ray bill somewhere.
Yeah.
He got in a trade, a blockbuster trade. Oh man. All right. But Mark, you surprised me because I was not expecting you. I was expecting you to get something, but like, dude, like you did the damn thing, man. So we're gonna go ahead and go full on in stash war mode right here.
Yeah.
We're in stash war mode, and go ahead, man, and unleash. What did you get at OAX? What did you bring home? What did you want to show?
Okay, so I'll start small real quick. So yeah, God bless Phil Hester and Matt Wagner, because I was able to complete this whole set and get SIGs. And look at Phil Hester even did a little remark on that one, on all my Green Arrow stuff.
MVP.
So yeah, Phil Hester is certainly an MVP. And I got a book with Alan Davis on it. I got Walt and Wheezy on this one. I got Jonathan Waishak on this one. I got Matt Wagner on that one. GR. This one was one that I kind of pulled out, and then I was like, damn, Kevin Nolan.
With Kevin Nolan?
Kevin Nolan.
And Chiarello.
And Chiarello. And then our Adams didn't make it, so I was going to get Art Adams.
Yeah, that hurt me.
So next year, or wherever the hell he's going to be at, I got Alan Davis on this one. And then you told me about this one that
Dude, I got that 5-time sign, dude.
Yeah, because it's a lot of people. A lot of people are on this book. It's just crazy.
Hey, even George Pratt is on that book. George Pratt was like, "Hey, I'm on that book." He signed it.
Yeah, so that was crazy. That was something I didn't know. I got JR on this one. Matteo Scalera, and then I'm gonna show you real quick. So, Kevin Nolan, Jimmy Palmiotti, and then Jimmy Palmiotti, Amanda Conner, Jimmy Palmiotti, and Kevin Nolan on this one. And then I just got Finch on this one. I'm gonna see Danny Mickey at what's it called?
Was San Diego?
I think I'm gonna see him at CCR. So this was one of the sketch cards, the OAX sketch cards, exclusive OAX sketch cards. This was done by Matt Wagner. If you guys know the Sex Pistols, Sid Vicious. Matt Wagner is doing a book on Sid and Nancy, infamous couple. So this is why I got this. But yeah, good price, $150.
All right, get to the gangster shit.
Okay, and then this, I got this signed, Phil Hester. Finally, I was dragging this around. This was the only art that I was dragging around. Okay, and then my final piece.
Uh-oh.
Of Resistance.
Oh, here, we're dropping the hammer.
I got a John Romita Jr. page, man. Kick ass.
You got to show the bong. A bong.
I know. So Jason was telling me that I guess Bill has a lot of art with bongs on it. So he's like, "Oh, you got to show that to Bill." But he told me like last minute, and I was already kind of running out by that time. But yeah, you guys all know this scene. If you guys seen Kick-Ass, you guys know this scene, man. So I love Kick-Ass, man. So I got home, watched the movie and everything. I got to read the book again. But I forgot my sketchbook. If you guys want to see this too?
Yeah.
So Phil Hester.
See?
Yeah, this is mean, man. He spent time.
Was that free? It
was free. I threw him a 50 though, because I was like, damn, man. I was like, that's not free quality shit, man. I was like, you need some money for this, And then this was a remark from Matt Wagner.
I like that.
$50. And then I got this from Walt Simonson. He had a great dark side, man. He was selling art there, and they were saying that he never sells art, and he had a great one in his portfolio. But man, he wanted 1,000 for it, and I was like, damn, man. I was like, just give me the sketch then, man. Give me the sketch and do it on the spot. He was charging 100 from him. He's charging 80, and then second day he's charging 100, and so I'm not sure how much he was charging on Sunday, but that's the man. So
All right, SCG, man. I am curious. What did you pick up at OAX?
So I actually sent you the links if you don't mind pulling them up.
Okay, yeah.
But
and I can just click on these and they'll show up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
They're already in the vault. They're locked away.
They're already.
Oh, I'll share it. I see what you're saying. Boom. Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second.
All right.
Here. Get this squared away here. All right, here we go.
Yeah, so this is the my win from the OAX auction. I've been eyeing this piece. This is a Meek snap card, Marvel snap card.
World War Hulk, right?
Yeah. Yep. So Meek's a character.
Planet Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, Meek's a character from Planet and World War Hulk. But it's a Marvel snap card done by Sean Crystal, and just the inks the colors just pop on this thing. And so I was able to pick that up at the auction, a lot cheaper than what it had been listed for. So I was happy about that.
All right. And then, okay, so that out. I'm going to the next one.
So in total, I picked up 18 pieces of art.
Woo!
So, yeah.
What?
So
This is Alan Davis?
no, this is Tom Rainey and Scott Hanna.
Mhm.
And so this is from Civil War, The Return. So if you read Civil War, you remember that Captain Marvel all of a sudden appears. He's got all Captain Marvels, and they're like, how in the world did Captain Marvel come back? He died of cancer, right?
Yeah.
And so they come to find out it was a scroll. But here it retells how he got cancer, and then the scene at the end where everybody's standing around, like at the death of Captain Marvel graphic novel. So that's why I picked that up.
That is pretty dope here. Right here. And then I'm going to another one here.
Homage to Jim Starlin and
For sure.
Those characters.
Yep. So since one of my rabbit holes is Hulk, had to visit Dave over at Jay Giant's booth, and was able to pick up a bunch of Immortal Hulk pages. I actually picked up, this one has separate ink. I know Mike, spits on this, but there's separate inks and pencils on this page. So I was able to pick up both of them. But this is Thor throwing down with Hulk. You see he lights him up right there in that last panel there. But yeah, so I displayed the inks, and then in the other images, I also have the pencils. So I don't list them separately if I have both of them. So yeah.
This is from the Al Ewing run, right?
Yeah. Al Ewing and Joe Bennett Mortal Hulk run.
But see, you got both of them though. That's what's cool. I don't mind if you have both.
And I actually bought a couple of inked pages last year. Dave had them on sale, and I was able to find the pencil pages this year to them, and so I reunited them. So
I like that. I like that right there. Then okay, then we got this one. I saw you get this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is I've been wanting a piece that had Scrooge in the money bin, and Anthony had this in his pickups for the week, and this one actually has the pencils. This is a blue line ink, so it's two separate pages, but this is kind of one of those twofers here because my son is going to get the inks, and I'm going to keep the pencils there in my office. So he's already told me where it's going to be in his room, and so I'm going to frame one in his room and frame one in my office. So this was actually so it's a foreign comic. It was the cover for a foreign comic.
And you just stumbled upon this at OAX?
Yeah, so Anthony, he's always wheeling and dealing. If you were there early, you saw him out there in the lobby catching people as they were coming in, myself included, who had brought a couple of just small pieces and was able to get some credit. So I used that credit to purchase this later on. I think on Sunday. So,
What pieces did you trade in? Yeah, because I heard a lot of people were trading in stuff. I didn't even.
Yeah, so some random stuff that I just picked up on the fly, some pages that don't really fit into the collection mostly. There was a couple that I had picked up in a package deal where somebody wanted to sell all the pages and not parse them out, and it was the one page I don't really want this, or it doesn't really fit, so I'm gonna move on from it and kept the other ones. So
man, that comes in handy. That came in handy for me as well. And then just doing SIGs, I did get some art. I got some in my portfolio, but I was going to show you the highlights of what I got. And most of these SIGs were free. And I got to say, man, that it was a very classy lineup at OAX because I was able to go back in the stash and dust off some books to get those signed, and that rarely happens. case in point, Steve Rude on this awesome Batman 400 that's like a million times signed already. You know, got Sienkiewicz with the bat remark, got Art Adams, I wish he was at OAX, but Mike Grell, George Perez, I mean, this is lit up. But Steve Rude is someone haven't met before, but this is one of those gems. I'm just waiting to meet Stephen King one day so he could sign this. And then I'll put
He's
this
on the other
one.
book too. He's on the X-Men book.
Oh, that's awesome. And then, dude, Clay, man, even at OAX, he was evading me, but I finally got a chance to meet Clay, man. And, you know, this is that Marry Me issue of Batman where he proposed to Catwoman, but they didn't get married. Remember that?
Yeah.
You know, but this is that issue. And he was the only person, like, missing on it. And then here's the variant with Tim Sale, the Tim Sale variant. And, you know, I got Tim Sale on it and just wanted to do that. And then this was cool. Kazra mentioned Simone Bianchi having the best SIG in the game. And his SIG was fire. This here is Simone Bianchi Joker cover, but it's also signed by Paul Dini and Don Kramer. So not many of these books floating around here. And I can't wait to see Paul Dini in Kansas City in a few weeks. And then this is my, I guess it's a Marvel book. This is my Marvel book that I'm going to get, you know, onslaughted with Deadpool Batman. So far I'm 3 SIGs deep into it. I got Adam Kubert on it, but Steve McNiven did a little doodle for me. And then Alice Sinclair, the Gradient General. So yeah, this is going to have so many SIGs on it at some point. But then probably the number one SIG I wanted because it kind of tied the room together like Lebowski's rug. And that's George Pratt here. And that's that gold SIG at the bottom. George Pratt. And you see this book is like, you know, you got Kevin McGuire, Howard Chaykin, Dennis Cowan, Sam Hamm, John Beatty, and then George Pratt.
They're all on that book?
Yeah, they're all on that book. Yep. And then this is George Pratt's only Batman cover right here. And he did a little bat logo for me. And Christopher Priest, a.k.a. James Osley, did that bat logo for me. And then Mike DiCarlo.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did he sign that? Did he sign that as Jim Owsley or did he sign it as Christopher Priest?
Owsley.
Oh, really?
And then here we go. Mike Mignola alert. So the Mike Mignola Batman. So this is after his Death in the Family, you know, covers. But this is Dark City. But George Pratt inked Mike Mignola on these covers. So it's double signed. And here's the first issue. This is probably the most famous one.
Yeah.
Double signed. And then last but not least, this one here, you know. DC, I know, boring, boo, boo, right? But this is dope Batman. It's Mike Mignola.
You knew that going in, or he told you that on the spot?
What?
You brought these books specifically for George Pratt?
Guess.
Yeah, right?
Of course I brought these books specifically for George Pratt.
Well, shit, man.
I said he was my number one guy.
You go deep in the research bag, you know, man.
It's called the Sig Slayer Station, my man. All right. Okay, so my one piece of art I got here, and I have to credit SCG on this, and I'm just letting you guys know right now. If you guys will get mad at me, I'm about to show you guys a EVS piece right now. Okay, but this is on Green Lantern 25. This is the issue of all issues to get as a Green Lantern fan. As you guys see in the back, I'm a Green Lantern fan. This is Jeff Johns' opus. He said it myself, and this here is the first page of the epilogue of the Sinestro Corps War. And this here is the first time you see Sinestro in prison. And then also, I don't know if you guys remember, but 52 stood for 52 universes, and Superboy Prime is seeing the 52 universes for the first time. And so, as you guys know, he was in the first crisis, and he thought after that crisis the multiverse was dead, and in fact, it was not. And he just saw that at the end of Sinestro Cold War. So SEG hit me up and was like, "Yo, I think they got some Jeff Johns Green Lantern here," and I'm like, "What?" And lo and behold, they had 3 pages from 3 different issues. And he gave me a deal on all 3, but I just wanted issue 25. Issue 25 is the issue that it talks about the Blackest Night. It also talks about all the different cores. So it's probably the most important issue of Green Lantern, other than probably the first appearance issues of, like, you know, Hal Jordan guy and John Stewart and stuff like that, because now they got like they got the PB&J core now. They got the Girl Scout cookie core. I mean,
The Sorrow core.
Yeah, the Sorrow core is all crazy now.
Well, I looked back at that issue when you're talking about it. I'm not sure if you decided that day that you saw it or after, but I was looking at it, and then like what the war does to the Guardians, you know, and they're like, okay, we gotta be more strict and everything, and then seeing the aftermath with the Superboy Prime, and then he gets the revelation about the 52 Earths coming back, and then that's a whole nother thing in DC. But I like that Sinestro part because he's just silent in his cell, and he's like, yeah, like I kind of won because I really like messed up the core, you know, like his act as a terrorist worked, you know, because that's the whole thing with the Sinestro Corps is just like a terrorist group and everything, and like him destroying like and making that effect on the core, you know, the Green Lantern core.
And then the Claw, they sold EVS art at OAX. Hell yeah, they had EVS art. They had all kind of art from everybody. They had Jack Kirby art. I mean, we were looking at Superman 75. Okay, so the Death of Superman issue.
Yeah,
we were looking at that. We were looking at. We didn't even mention the fact that I was looking at Dragon Ball Z cells. Oh, yeah. I mean, they had Dragon Ball Z cells. So if I wanted to get some old school cartoon art, I could have did that like easily. It was. I mean, they had classic stuff too. If I wanted Batman animated series stuff, they had that. So anything you wanted there, if it was like you know, pretty much pop culture art and superhero art, they had it there, and it's growing. I think they had Magic the Gathering art there, so it was great. I would say the only thing I would say that OAX could improve on next year, and that's one thing. If they had one section that was just dedicated to mono prints, you know what I mean?
Oh boy. No, I
all mono prints.
In seriousness, the only thing that come to my mind that would be an improvement would be like a lot of shows. If you buy the VIP, you get in early every day of the show. So I like the idea of being in there the 2 hours prior to everybody else. But you know, going out to the next level of saying, okay, you get in an hour ahead of everybody else. So that would push people to go ahead and upgrade to the VIP package, which would probably be better for the show financially. Max, there you go.
There we go. That's what I'm saying, man. They're talking about expanding to a little wing. You know what I'm saying? Get my Jorge Jimenez mono prints and who else? Mikhail Janine and whoever else.
Well, your boy Quan back there, he could bring you some mono prints.
Right? Or better yet, man, I you know who I was disappointed. I didn't see no Francesco Mattina OA.
Wow.
Wait, Wait. Jokes aside, does he actually have any like OA, or is he all digital?
I don't know. You tell me. What came
Well,
first, the chicken or the egg? That's the
I was going to
paradox.
make a joke about putting somebody else's art in a mirror, and then that way you can get some Matina stuff. But I was going to let that one go.
VIP tickets sold out all 3 years.
Really?
No, but yeah, man, the mono prints, man. I'm just joking on that shit. But no, I had a good time, guys. That was a great start of the con season. And guys, I did get some news. So we were tasked to learn about things that are not art related. And so I decided to, this is the first rollout of the year for SIGs. This is a good way to update the signature price guide. And lo and behold, some things done changed, guys. Things done changed. Hold on, let's see what is there. Yeah, the whole show is meet and greet, man. It was
Yeah, you get your
no, it was. I would say it was meet and eat, man, because I was eating, and then also I was getting mad SIGs, dude. It was crazy. It was literally I was done by lunchtime Saturday, and I got 500 SIGs, almost 500 SIGs. I was done by noon Saturday.
crazy.
Like that never happens, And if I didn't have to wait on Walter Simonson for a while, I would have been done by like maybe 11. So that was cool, because the other part that I liked about OAX was the fact that it was in the hotel, so I can go to the hotel, dump my books off. We went to the Waffle House. We had all the restaurants there. That was mad chill. I had a good time. It was pretty easy.
That was the first time I ever had that experience, man. Just okay, I'm done with this stuff. Walk back, or just use the elevator up to the room, drop off the stuff, go back down, man. I hardly had any time to do that though, man. It was just constant, just going through the convention,
So let's get into this price guide real quick, because first off the rip, guys, I showed you guys right here in this clip right here that is coming up. David Finch pretty much had it. I gave it to David Finch in this, and typically they have the sign that shows the price or whatever, but it didn't have it there. It was the first day. Maybe they were still, setting their shit up. It was the beginning of the show, in fact. But I had a stack of books, and lo and behold, here it is. All these, see this? He's buried in books, right? I'm thinking this dude is $10 chucks. Guess what, guys? Guess what? Newsflash. David Finch is tier 2 now, guys. David Finch is $15 a SIG. He's $15 a SIG. And we about to just go ahead and get this open right now, because I've been getting DM'd all week about Scott Snyder and his price increases. But before we pile on to Scott Snyder, a lot of the information that I was getting was based on mail-in prices, and those are always significantly higher than in-person prices. So I put Scott Snyder here, but this is tentative. We're gonna find out at MegaCon together, okay? So if I put my money on it, I'm gonna say Scott Snyder did raise his price. If David Finch raised his price, Scott Snyder raised his price. So I'm going to say he's probably 15, not 20. But let's see. I put him here prematurely, but that's because this dude is the biggest creator in all of comics right now with this Absolute Universe thing. And so he can pretty much name his price right now. And so that's why I'm thinking Scott Snyder is going to be tier 2 when we see him at MegaCon in a couple weeks. But David Finch was $10 pretty much for years. And so this was his first rollout, and I got it from Essential Sequential at OAX. This is his first rollout at this price point. And then tier 1, just so you guys know what tier 1 is. These guys are saints. These guys make going to conventions affordable, even though once upon a time these things used to be free, right? But tier 1 is $5 and $10, but with a caveat, because people like Amanda Connor and Walter Simonson and James Tynan and Lee Bermejo, they do at least one free, and then $10, right? Adam Hughes was $5 at OAX. Adam Hughes was $5 at OAX. So that man, he's doing God's work. Adam Kubert, $10. Okay, you can't be mad at that. I don't know if Casual and them know this, but like, he don't go to that many shows. He goes to maybe 2, maybe 3 a year, if that.
Simonson or Kubert?
Kubert. And the Simonsons stay on the East Coast. They rarely go to the West Coast.
Yeah.
I saw the Simonsons one time at a convention. So yeah, I'm talking about in 20 years. So
where do the Kuberts stay though? Are they in? They're not.
I think he's in Florida, right? Isn't he Florida? Is it Kubert?
Adam's in Florida. Yeah.
And then where's Andy at?
He's in Cali, ain't he?
Yeah, I think he's in Cali now.
Oh, really?
Hey, but no witness at OAX. Hold on. Oh my God. Fuck. Excuse my French. This guy, here we go. Hold on. Everybody bear with me here. Everybody bear with me. What was his comment? I want to go to it again. But no witness at OAX. Everybody bear with me and join me here. And do this. Follow the sentence. CGC and witness these.
Nuts.
There you go. So there we go. That's what we're doing here. All right. So I love the fact that CGC wasn't at OAX. I love that. Because it's an art show. You don't need nobody witnessing no art, man. I mean, you're with the best. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, see, Casual just validating that shit right now. Like, these guys don't go to a lot of shows, and so you gotta kind of take advantage of it. And even before we went to OAX, I was even telling cats, I was like, dude, if you're in the Florida area, you don't have to stay at the hotel or whatever. Just, buy the ticket and pull up. I mean, because you're getting these top-notch guys that would be the A-list on the show, and you're getting the same amount of A-list people in a small package. So I was saying for months ahead of time that cats should go and get sleeper SIGs at OAX because not many people were going to be competing with it. And if we have our kumbaya moment where all those art guys have let the SIGs just kind of get their joint, I think we'll be fine. OAX is for the fans. I love that. Okay, so back to this prize guy real quick. As we mentioned, Amanda Connor, Anna Kubert, Simonsons, both of them, one free, and then $10. But now we start getting into baller material. So we saw John Romita Jr., right, at OAX. And I haven't seen John Romita in a while. It's been a couple years. Last time I saw John Romita, he was one free than $10. That was in like 2019. That's pre-COVID. That's a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
And then I heard he was $20. What's up?
I think even after that, I probably seen him in like the first Comic-Con back from the pandemic, 2021 or 2022 or something. And I think he was like one free and then 5 after that. But yeah, he's $30 now, man.
30 bones. So tier 3, 30 bones. Another price, guys. When we saw Jeff Loeb in New York. So just a few months back, he went from $30 to $40. So Jeff Loeb, excuse me, think about how much it costs to get all 12 issues of Hush signed by Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb raw.
Hush 1 or Hush 2?
How many issues are in Hush 2, SCG? I don't know. They're not done.
Well, I mean, we'll find out one day,
Maybe. Or maybe our kids might.
Yeah, and
All right,
Castro made a mention in the chat about the Ramita meet and greet. Well, in talking about Ramita, I got him to sign one piece of art that I've been trying to get him to sign. I was able to walk straight up to him versus way he was at Heroes, where he was just snowed under. And he was going to let me. I said, "How much do I owe you?" He just kind of shooed me. I was like, "Damn, don't worry about it." Well, his son caught me, and he's like, "Hey, sir, I can check you out over here." I'm like, "Ah, crap. What am I supposed to say?"
You said after you bought some art from him?
No. I already had a World War Hulk page, and I got Klaus to sign it a couple years ago, and so just now getting Ramita to sign
it. Yeah, if anything, buy some art from him. He bought the art and he went easy on the SIGs, So
did he sign? Did he sign your art page?
Yeah, he signed it.
Did he sign it John Ramita Jr. or JR?
No, first thing he signed it John Ramita Jr.
Yeah, because he used to do this JR stuff. Yeah, but he had signed it that way on my art. I was like, maybe this is kind of a new thing.
Well, he said on your page, you're saying SEG, he signed his full name. Yeah, I think just on the comics, because I got a bunch of John Romita's at OAX, and he did JR on them.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that's he
upgraded experience.
Exactly, right. And so going back to this, John Romita Jr. was $30 at OAX. Jeff Loeb was $40 at New York. So either he's going to stay at 40 or he's going to go up. They never go down.
But Jeff Loeb doesn't have that meet and greet package, man. I know for sure you gotta have 10 John Romita Jr. books. So just buy that meet and greet package.
And then now we're getting into this is not the highest tier, by the way, guys. This is not the highest tier. Because then you have tier 4, where you got people like Bill Sienkiewicz and J. Scott Campbell, who are charging $50 and $60 a SIG. And I'm telling me, somebody, don't crucify me, but I'm about to ask a fucking wild out question right now.
What's up?
What the hell did J. Scott Campbell do? Hold on. To justify 60 bones.
Lots of covers.
Well, what did this next guy do that justifies his
boy
price?
Here we go.
Yeah, what did that guy do? We were talking about that all night, man. If you guys catch my drift, what did that guy do?
Yeah,
he charges so much.
I think I know where you're going with this. We keep hinting at it. Eventually, we'll get to that section.
Well, but hold on, like chat. Tell me, somebody. I know somebody in this chat is a J. Scott Campbell fan. What did he do? Why is he so expensive? And I've seen his art, I've seen his covers, and I'm like, I got a couple. I remember he used to be one free and then $10, and then one free, then $20, but now he's 60. Period. And so no one in this chat can tell me why J. Scott Campbell is so, I guess, popular. And what made him so popular? Is it just the girls that he draws?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the comic fans like the girls.
I mean, Gen 13 is the only thing I know that he ever created.
Dude, Gen 13 was, you know how long ago that was?
I get it, but I'm saying, yeah, it's the girls for sure.
So damn. Okay. Wow. Okay. So he's $60. He's $60. Sienkiewicz, I remember he was one free, then 10, and then 20, and then now he's 50. But Danger Girl, okay. But Danger Girl was what? Holler at me, what, 20, 30 years ago?
Sienkiewicz can justify his price, though, man. Sienkiewicz is...
Dude, Sienkiewicz, you could give You could hawk 2 loogies and give Sienkiewicz a popsicle stick and a paintbrush, and he'll come out with a Mona Lisa. Okay? Hey, Bill Sienkiewicz is a genius, man. Jay costs $5. Now, there we go right here. Now, that's a hellified breakdown right there. That's talking about cost. That's a hellified breakdown. So I don't know, man. Like, you know, I think he's a talented artist, but like, dude, like, I just don't get that price point. Sometimes just say, I would rather you just say fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sign books. Then to charge a ridiculous price for me to not like you. Because sometimes I see these sick prices and I'm like, dude, you know you're just writing your name, right? It's like, you know, like you didn't even come up with your own name. You know what I mean? Like most of these guys, you know, their name, unless they're, you know, somebody, you know, that changed their name like Doc or somebody, or Frank Quietly or something. But most of these guys, you know, they were born with their name and they're charging 60 bones. But hey, Sienkiewicz. Okay, so Danger Girl, real quick, right? Is there a Danger Girl issue worth more than $100?
I don't know, man. The first one.
See that?
$20.
What, Danger Girl 1? See, Reggie, I like that, man. But see, at least Reggie Jackson is a goddamn champion.
His Spider-Man, the Spider-Man covers, I think they cost maybe like $100 or $50 to $100. He has two. He has 2 that are really expensive. His Black Cat covers.
All right, chat. It's time. All right, so we're at tier 4, $50 to $60. Chat, let us know who has the most expensive raw signature in the business right now. Let us know in the chat and how much you think it is. Let us know in the chat the most expensive signature. Ruby Red variant Danger Girl. I think Danger Girl has a crossover with Batman. Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. But for $60, I don't know. $60, that's just crazy, man. Like these books are not even worth that much.
Yeah, because I would want him. He did like Amazing Spider-Man 500, but you know, man, I just don't want to shell out the money.
Jim Lee, Frank Miller. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The names, ding, ding, ding. Here we. But you know what?
All-Star Batman.
And SCG, and Mark, you guys know that I had Frank Miller, right, as the poster child for tier 5.
Yeah,
but that has changed. The new poster child for tier 5 is the one and only. Hold on, where's it at? Where's it at?
Hush, hush, hurry, hurry, get that GME. Hush, hush, I wanna see your GME. Hush, hush, hush.
All right, enough being silly. Jim Lee, okay? Jim Lee is the new poster child of tier 5.
Get this guy
I can't. $80 a la carte. Now, at MegaCon, you can get 3/6 for $200. But if you want 1/6, that's $80. So what does that mean, guys? He's $80, right?
Yep.
Package deal, $200. So he's 80 or 200, right? Jim Lee has a big package deal. All right, now Frank Miller is, you know, his price ranges, okay, from $80 to $100. Now, mind you guys, we're not talking about CGC. We're talking about raw prices, raw dogs, okay? So Jim Lee, okay, now SEG, but know you feel some kind of way, right? So I'm gonna give you the floor real quick, but I'm gonna ask you this question first, right? Is it worth it right now? Is Jim Lee worth 80 bones today, 2026? And I got your alley queued up.
He's not. He's not. I mean, if you're asking from the standpoint of does his signature add this much value to the book, the answer is no. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to me that somebody on this channel, not to call any names, but it's not me or Mike, and he's a huge fan of the biggest tiered folks, Frank Miller and Jim Lee. So I just know that Mark's got rich taste.
I am a fan of. I've paid for Frank Miller cigs before,
Okay.
and I love Frank Miller, man. He has the work to back it up, man. So Sin City, you know.
Hold on. Time out.
Oh,
Hold
boy.
on. Stop. Hold on. Where's it at?
Oh, don't bring him out.
There it is. I was looking for it. As you were saying.
Yeah, he dude. I think Frank's just kind of phoning it in right now, and he's just taking the money, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. Here, take the. Hey, but he gets them done though, right? So he's getting these covers done.
Oh, so
They're
somebody
getting
else
published.
doesn't finish.
They're getting
Okay.
published. You know, Frank Miller has the IP Sin City, fucking Rusty and the Robot Guy, Martha Washington.
Mhm.
Frank Miller's 300. You know, he's just a creative mastermind. And then we're celebrating this 60 years or no 40 years of The Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
You know, you love year one, Mike.
Absolutely. So okay. So if you're saying okay.
And the prices of the books, right? The prices of the book.
Yes. So we're saying which one of the two, Jim Lee or Frank Miller, which one of the two is most justified in having an $80 price point? Miller all day. Miller got actual legitimate keys, right?
Yeah, for sure. Death of Elektra, first appearance of Elektra, first Dark Knight Returns.
And pages. But the question is today. Now, today there was an interesting post by Jim Lee. And we have been talking about Jim Lee critically. We all are fans of Jim Lee. But we got to keep it real, y'all. We're comic book fans. And I don't know if you guys are aware. Some of you guys might not be. But there are 2 concurrent volumes of Batman right now. There's the issue that's out right. I mean, the volume that's out right now with Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez. And then there's this incomplete volume 3, that was supposed to have ended last summer. Yeah. And we get this post from Jim Lee today. And I'm going to read it. As many of you have seen Batman 1.
Violin music. You need the sad violin music.
Oh, yeah, we need some violin. Damn, I should have put, man. I'm going to give you some Jim Lee music next time, SCG, because that's a great suggestion. Okay, so the peep this, guys. This was my laugh out loud moment of the day. So this is Jim Lee's post today. As many of you have seen, Batman 163 has moved to the end of May. So the end of May. Personal circumstances have slowed the pace of Hush 2, to put it mildly. Thank you for the patience and support. There it is. In the meantime, here's a new piece of my 9-page Superman Spider-Man story. 9-page! Written by Tom King. Hopefully this brings a smile to many of you nostalgia lovers. For the black and white inks, check out Scott Williams' page. I remain ever grateful for this privilege of telling stories through the words and pictures. FOC for Spider-Man. Superman Spider-Man is Monday, blah, blah, blah. But the main part is this. This issue of Hush, or Batman 163, is pushing a year late. Okay? This is supposed to come out in June, and it's coming out May, damn near June. He said the end of May. So almost a full year. But in the in-between, though, you know, we get our palate cleanse with the 9-page news story with him and Tom King. What are y'all thoughts on this, man? I thought this was wild.
So I think that Jim Lee has ED as it relates to finishing comics. He just can't get it like he used to, you know.
Man, I like, as a Batman fan, you know, I just want the story to be done. You know, it to me, it makes it kind of takes a little shine off him a little bit. And as a result, it pulls everybody down. Well, no, not everybody. Jeff Loeb down, because they're the two biggest names, you know. And I remember back in the All-Star Batman days, right? Because that did not finish, as we know. And the question always was why? What led to such a huge delay to a screech to a halt? And no one wanted to throw anyone under the bus, right? And people assumed it was Frank. And then people start shitting on Frank, talking about his bland script. And I'm not saying that his script was the best, but I'm saying it brought unwarranted. He caught strays. You know, because Jim Lee's art was awesome in All-Star Batman and Robin. So who's to say? Maybe if everything came out on time, they would have slid. They would have let Frank Miller slide with his choppy script. You know, I mean, it's not like Hush One had the best script either. You know, it was the fact that like the art was great and all these characters and stuff like that. But when you start delaying stuff, now we get to, you know, put everything under a microscope, and then everybody can get it. And I just thought, like, right now, and we interviewed Jeff Loeb. In this very situation right here, Jeff Loeb talked about in our interview. He said, he was like, man, dude, you know,
script, right?
What's up?
He said he finished the script.
Oh, the script, man, the script been done almost 2 years ago now. Okay. Yeah. He probably got to revise the script now. But he said, he was like, man, I'm waiting on my pages. And then it sucks to hear, you know, when he's doing all these covers and doing pages for other cats. So he said that, you know, very, very candidly. And so now it's no, oh, by the way, he did say that they bet $100 that he wouldn't finish Hush One. So they left $100 on the wall at DC and bet that Jim Lee couldn't finish Hush One. So here we are, right? But I guess I'm not saying this stuff to just, you know, pile on Jim Lee. I guess I'm saying it because it's like, well, one, when we all kind of read the Hush 2, we all kind of said this was kind of like phoned in anyway, right? So it was like we were not getting the top-notch stuff. And I guess that's what we're looking for as fans. And I think, like, especially in this post-LeBron James era where you could just kind of hang on and just do whatever you want, you know, just live off your name. Like, I don't want to see that everywhere, you know? And so, like, I want to see like these young guys, like these younger guys, how they're hungry and they're doing, you know, they're blacking out on these pages or whatever. I'm not saying you got to go to that extent, but once you get back at the helm, we want to see you do what you're known for. We want to see, you know, why you're so great. We don't want to have to remember or have to tell somebody that you used to be great. You know, if you're going to draw comics and draw interiors, like, do that fully. We know you have a lot of different hats and you're a very important person at DC, but I just felt like, you know, this was a major drop of the ball. A lot of people were very excited, and I don't necessarily think that, you know, I think that Jim Lee will sell covers, but I don't think that he'll be able to like bounce back from this, you know, because it's so blatant.
Well, I'm not gonna say everything that we were talking about that other night, but yeah, man, I couldn't draw like Jim Lee if you had a gun against my head, you know, like I'm no artist, and there's Jim Lee books that I like, and and during the pandemic, dude, like every day he was coming out with a crazy elaborate sketch, and I think that was when Jim Lee was one of like like really high on my list during the pandemic, and he's just banging out these elaborate sketches. I remember the one with Brainiac, and there's like little faces in like every little corner. But yeah, you're right, man. It's just like if you're gonna do this, do it, instead of this Hush 2 Electric Boogaloo, like half ass, like not getting it done, dude. I would like to see the end of All Star Batman and Robin, but that's never gonna happen anymore. And are we gonna see the end of Hush 2, So are
I
we
would
able
I would rather like want something and not get it than to get it half-assed. At least I have that memory of like wanting it and remembering the last time it was good versus you coming back and then tainting that memory with what's going on. Now, this right here, Marcus, you're coming with a great question here, and I often talked about this. What are your thoughts on Clayton Crane's Infinity signatures? His menu of signatures, you mean? Clayton Crane, and I mean this with all honesty, and I said this a couple years ago. I actually wrote a skit on it too. I actually think that this was probably the most innovative things that happened to comics in the last 30 years. These signature gimmicks that Clayton Crane kind of innovated, because it's not art, right? It's just your name, but it's cheating. It's giving you the appeal, that you're giving you the illusion that you're getting some art by just changing the color of your pen mid-stroke of your name.
Yeah.
Like mid-stroke, oh, I'm gonna change right here. Oh, I'm gonna switch condoms right now. Like, what? Who does that? I swear, Clayton Crane, he's a genius. Why? Because people buy it. And not just that, it has influenced other creators to do similar gimmicks. I don't want to call out no names, but it definitely has impacted others. I mean, I would call out one. Rob Liefeld has multiple signature packages where you could, upgrade and get an $80 sig, and you put a little panache on it.
Yeah. I've gotten it. I've gotten the Liefeld script, or he has the script one, and then he has his regular sig. I've gotten both of them, man.
Yeah, the chisel signature, as he calls it. Yeah.
So yeah, I remember I had one Clayton Crane sig, and they was like, oh, okay, so you want the regular sig or do you want the multicolor sig? And I'm like, multicolor sig? What are you talking about? Like one of those crayons, where the crayons where it has all the colors in one crayon? But no, he changes the marker. How much is that? $20. I'm like, what? $20? I'm good, man. Give me the regular ass,
How much is the regular one?
Can I get to pick one color, any color that I want for free? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Get out of here with that. But but it's a genius. I said, at least Rob takes some time to do the chisel, huh?
Yeah, and the chisel's pretty cool. I mean, and to each their own, I guess. But I mean, Jim doesn't do anything special. He just scribbles on the deal. He doesn't have the best signature in the business. But
the claw. You asked such a. I wonder how old you are. Michael Turner passed away in what, 07? No one was charging for SIGs in 07, bro. Jim Lee, I can tell you, I got at least 30 SIGs in 07 from Jim Lee for free. 07?
Man.
Think about it. Michael Turner passed away in what, 06, 07. Ain't nobody was charging. Like, wait, Neil Adams was charging maybe like $10 and they thought he was crazy. Like, no one was. The only people that was charging probably was Neil and Stan. In 06, 07? That's a long time. That's 19 years ago.
Yeah,
I know, man. Yeah, I mean, it all changed in 2017 with the advent of common sketch art. That's when things changed. That's when everybody was like, oh, you know what? We can make money off of this. But so they created this whole engine, It wasn't, I mean, there was always some kind of rep and something like that. But like to the way it is right now, where like Artist Alley has a whole different like DNA behind it. Since 2007.
But you gotta agree with like it's supplementing the creators that aren't getting as much work. But like Jim Lee's getting like work, you know, he works for DC, so it's like, do you really need to charge the $80? The cats that aren't getting work, you know, the cats that haven't been in the game, you know, $5 for them, you know, $10 for them.
$80. And so, like, let's go back to this. Like, so Jim Lee is $80, guys. So that means anything, right? Anything you want them on, it's gonna be $80. So I would suggest, if you are to get a Jim Lee Sig, don't get it on a freaking pop figure, okay? Get it on a comic. But here's the thing. Hold on, guys. This is where I short circuit. Oh, well, hold on. You show
us a Jim Lee on this?
What?
Can I get a Jim Lee on this?
Oh, yeah, you get Jim Lee on that.
Jim Lee inking Barry Windsor Smith?
Yeah, you have to bring the heat.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Oh, my lord. That
you don't have Jim Lee on there yet?
No, and well, yeah. So it looks like Baltimore is going to be the next chance for me to get it. So
yeah, Baltimore. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. So here's where I short circuit, guys. So $80 a stick, right?
Yeah.
Jim Lee, he, albeit has a long career with Marvel, where he's, you know, has some interiors. Largely a cover artist over the past 30 years. If he's $80 a pop, what book would you even suggest getting signed? What Jim Lee book would you suggest for at that price point?
DC or Marvel?
It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I mean, if
$80, shit.
If you're Marvel, you got to do something like either X-Men 1 or maybe the one of the later runs of Uncanny X-Men. But I would say like Batman 608, the second print.
But X-Men 1's like
that's a good one. Second print.
It's like a $5 book, you know. X-Men 1's like a $5 book.
No, if you can get it in a good grade, I mean, it's more than a $5 book. Surprisingly, as many copies as were sold, you know.
Yeah, that's what I would think. 268. That's Mandapore Nights, right?
Right.
Well, what's the cover of 268?
That's what
together again for the first time, the Captain America, Black Widow, Wolverine.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get that one. Yeah, 608 second print. That's a good one to get, you know, because that's at least $150, $200 book, and they're still in rotation where you can find it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of Jim Lee's expensive books are like really hard to find, and they're hundreds of dollars. But
what's that one? The Hush ROP. What's the variant that they only gave retailers?
Yeah, the RRP. Yeah, that's like, dude, 7,000 or more. Yeah, he signs at the DC booth, Marcus, but it's like Ocean's 11, man. You gotta get the portal. You got to get the portal, win that, or you got to do the overflow line bit. You got to know a couple cats that work at DC to make sure there is an overflow line. And then at DC, because it's over there in that armpit of a corner, now that they moved away from the image booth, it's harder to get to, and it's just more cumbersome. So they discourage overflow lines. So Jim Lee signature at San Diego is very hard to get for free, unless you're someone like me or cats that I know. But it's hard. It's really not for beginners. You really have to be lucky.
Well, if you're Marcus and you got the hookup with Albert Moy, you might get the hookup.
Okay. So he got the hookup, man. So he eating lunch with Jim Lee, you know, with Albert Moy, and then at the con they act like they don't know each other.
Yeah, probably hot dog wieners and stuff like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
X-Men 274. What's the cover of that?
274. What is that? Is that the? What is that? The last Claremont
Oh,
one.
that's the one with Rogue in the Savage Land outfit, Cage
Okay.
Warner, Nick Fury.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a cool one. But I mean, how much that book cost? What, $15 maybe?
My comic shop's got a $200 copy. It's in a 9.8. So
Oh, it's in the slab though, right?
yeah, there's a signed slab 9.8, $350 at my comic shop.
Yeah, I mean, I get free Jim Lees too, man. You got to know how to do it. You have to be at the right place at the right time. It's kind of like Todd McFarlane, but Todd McFarlane's more for the people. Todd McFarlane is way more people friendly as far as that whole price point thing. But so just a real quick recap on the signature price guide. Like I said, tier 1. Amanda Connor and the Simonsons, they're one free than $10, right? The only example of $5, I didn't want to put them on there because really the norm is 10, but because of Adam Hughes at OAX was $5. So I have to say that. But Adam Kubert was 10, Amanda Connor was 10, Simonsons were 10. This tier 2 is probably the news of the year so far of the con season. David Finch went from 10 to 15, and they unrolled that price point at OAX. And I got that got thrown on me after man, it kind of threw my budget off a little bit first day because of that price hike. But now I know, guys. So if you really want Finch, only put his greatest hits up there. You can't get any fillers anymore at $15 a sig. Now you can't get filler issues. Now you got to just kind of focus on like money covers and keys. $15. Now you're over here playing with people's emotions. Is make friends with Mrs. Moy. Yeah, she's cool. I was talking to Mrs. Moy, and them. It was crazy, man, because I heard they were all kind of stuck. Because they're like East Coast, so they were like snowed in or whatever.
Yeah.
Or stuck in Orlando. Anyway, so David Finch, Snyder. I'm getting rumblings from both coasts that Snyder is going to be increasing his signature price. Now I'm hearing $20, but I'm getting mail in prices. So I don't know. But be prepared for $15 to $20 at MegaCon, guys, and that will suck. If Scott Snyder knows what's good because of the volume of books, if he kept his price point from 10 to 15, like Claremont did for so many years, he would make a killing even more than he was making now, because I think he's making like 30 grand an appearance or something like that. Yeah. So it's not like he's starving at these shows. I mean, he's getting broke off before the show even starts. So I'm curious about this price point, guys. So I'm saying he's probably going to be $15. Be prepared for that. He's been 10 for the longest. And with the popularity of Absolute Batman. Oh, by the way, Absolute Batman is $60. So Absolute Batman is $60 for signature. And so was Absolute Batman 15. And so is Detective Comics 880. And you guys all know why 880 is an expensive book. But Absolute Batman #1 and the first appearance of the Joker in Absolute Batman, which is Absolute 15. And so he's, this price point here, guys, is where we're gonna see a lot of changes. And I think after MegaCon, I'm probably going to have to update this again. And then John Romita Jr. was $30 at OAX. I think he's probably been at this price point for at least a year now. But Jeff Loeb increased his price point before the year started. So he's $40. Okay. So Jeff Loeb is 40. John Romita Jr. is 30, a.k.a. Bronny James. And then this price point here, I don't quite get this price point. $50 price point is, $30 I don't get, but $50 I don't get either. And I'm trying to figure out what justifies these price points. So, but Sienkiewicz and J. Scott Campbell are all at this price point here at that $50. Yeah, Absolute Batman #1. Not all of them though, DeClaw, just #1 and 15. I'm so glad I got Absolute Batman signed already the first day it came out. I would never get that. I got that, and then I'm so happy I got at New York the Ashcan signed before they did the. So guys, that's the other thing. So rule of thumb, if you know it's good and you getting SIGs, get it signed as soon as possible, because the climate change, and that's what we're talking about here, is that the SIG prices already changed. The OAX was smack dead at the end of in the middle of or at the end of February, but at the beginning of the year, and so we're already seeing a couple different price points change with the beginning of the year with the rollout of OAX, and so MegaCon, which is a huge show, once that happens, we're gonna know what 2026 is all about as it pertains to SIGs. And then we've been ragging on Jim Lee pretty much a good third of the night. And that's because we just found out that it's not about Hush 2, by the way. It's not about that. Let's not make it about this story. Let's make it about the fact that a whole volume of Batman. So for all you Tom King fans, for all you people that think Tom King's the GOAT, but guess what? This delay is besmirching this whole volume because it's not even completed. And mind you, 163 isn't the final issue. There's one more issue after that before it concludes, and then they're supposed to finish this as some other Elseworld story that probably not gonna conclude like All-Star Batman. So he's saying here, due to personal circumstances, Hush 2, end of May, guys. But in the meantime, check out this new story that he's doing with Tom King and the Superman Spider-Man. I'm curious about it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, it's an anthology, so it's not just Jim Lee. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in that. And then that begged our question: that is Jim Lee worth $80 a SIG? And then my other question is, with the delay of Hush 2, is Jim Lee's popularity gonna take a hit?
We'll see, man. We'll see if everyone's on the boat that we are.
Yeah, I don't think so. There's so many collectors now that are nothing but cover collectors, and that's what Jim Lee is doing. I mean, he's going to appeal to some guys that remember picking him off the stand, but I do know this. I mean, eventually you're going to drive all the other prices of everything up. And somebody in the chat mentioned earlier that the show presenters are the ones that kind of set the prices. Well, that's because you're charging so much to be there, so that they're trying to make their money.
Absolutely. Okay. And then so there's that. And then now we're going into Sisters updates real quick, guys. We have who we all picked and the Stash Fam picked as artist of 2025, Dan Mora. You do not want to miss this exclusive interview. We have Dan Mora Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern on the 6 Layer Station. Exclusive interview. I'm going to tell you this. This is one of my favorite interviews of the year. And it's because this dude is so humble, he doesn't even know how good he is. And that's what's great. And so going back, not to pile on Jim Lee, right? But when I hear people talk about, the art, I'm not talking about all the different positions in corporate America. I'm talking about the art, the craft of making comics. And that's what we're talking about here. I don't know all about working at DC, right? But when you listen to this man talk, man, this dude is dedicated. And his work ethic, like, how the hell are you doing Justice League and then Transformers, like, at the same time? And, like, how is all of that happening, right? Well, he breaks all of that down. Such a sincere guy. I never met somebody so talented. that didn't know how talented he was. Like seriously, most people that has his level of expertise, his level of skills, know it, and not that they're full of themselves, but they have this, assurance. He's very much still in work mode. Like I think he's still looking for something that we can't see yet because he's on the journey, and once he gets there, we'll all see it. But I'm telling you, man, this guy he's a freaking animal. As when it comes to his work ethic, and one of the most humble people that I met this year on the Six Station. So Dan Mora next week. Mark, anything you want to share about Dan Mora?
Dude, I just picked up a page from OAX from Dan Mora, man. But
okay,
and let's talk about how casual that Mark picks up. He's like, blah blah blah. Yeah,
I got that one on a payment plan, man. I got it on a payment plan. So
and then I picked up a John Romita Jr. I mean, like he says it so casually, like as an afterthought.
Exactly,
man. I don't usually pick up pages though. Kazra got me hyped up, man, and the OAX. I just got caught up, So I just got caught up. That one's on a payment plan. I'll get it soon, as soon as I pay it off. But
what are your thoughts on the interview?
Dude, it was great. And then for the Spanish speakers out there, we had 2 Spanish questions on that one. So habla español, freaking me and Mike can't do it, but Dan Morris sure can. But yeah, just such a humble guy, a great talent, and efficient, fast worker, man. So he's everywhere. He's got the speed force on him,
So we got that out. He's out in Costa Rica. Then John Timms, who's another cat out of Costa Rica. We interviewed him. That's coming up in March. And then where is Declan Shally from? He's out in Europe,
Ireland.
So we got a interview from Ireland coming up in March from Declan, and he's talking about Silverhawks and Thundercats. So I can't wait the talk about that. But just real quick, share a couple interviews that you guys should check out if you haven't already. This is the interview of the year right here. This one right here, Jonathan Galapia. Yes, we talk about the Curse of Shirley Johnson because that's his project. But you would be crazy if we didn't talk about all the stuff he did before this. And for you art guys, if you guys haven't seen this interview already, he even explains why there's blue lines in the first 11 issues of Batman New 52. So he explains that. And not that I asked that question either. It was a part of the story. And so this interview right here, it's in my top 5 ever, because this dude, he did not pull any punches. Very candid. Not that he said anything crazy, but he just kept it really, really real. But yeah, so Jonathan Galapin, you guys should check this out. If you're a Todd McFarlane fan, check this out. If you're a Greg Capullo fan, check this out. But definitely if you're a Jonathan Galapin fan, check this out. And then another one for our animation fans, we cover all kind of sequential art here, as well as animation. And this guy is one of the biggest names in animation, Jorge Gutierrez, Guapo versus the Narco Vampires, but also the Book of Life. I mean, what's that?
El Tigre.
El Tigre. But then did you do what's the other wrestling one too?
Mucho Lucha.
Mucho. There we go. Mucho. He did a bunch of stuff. But we just interviewed him. This just dropped yesterday. Check that out. For all the cats that are interested in the Kubert School, we interviewed the owner of the Kubert School, Anthony Marquez. And not just that, he talks about a story that he's working on right now that he said is going to change people's outlook on how they see his artwork. He says very aggressive. It's going to be some aggressive stuff, and it's going to be cool. So I can't wait for that to come out. But this interview was already on the Six Layer Station. You guys can check that out right now. And then Mark Wade, this was a great interview. We already interviewed Dan Moore. This was just before the Dan Moore interview. And, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You got to have the Mark Wade, Dan Moore combination. So we interviewed Mark Wade first and then Dan Moore after. And but there's a lot going on with this, especially with the resurgence of Mark Wade's career at DC Comics. There's a lot going on. And then speaking of great writers at DC and Absolute Universe, the writer of Absolute Superman, Jason Aaron, joins my man David Barron in the process. And we've got a new episode dropping on the 11th. And I think we're gonna have Doug Mankey. And guys, I don't know. There's put it this way, those Energon guys. I think I told you guys, Energon guys. I think Doug's doing some Energon stuff right now. So be on the lookout for that. And I think David plans to do some live coloring. So I think this next process might entail some live digital coloring of comic book art. And it might feature Doug Mankey, the great Doug Mankey. And so that's that. Man, I am still trying to gather my bearings after OAX. OAX was such a great experience. I got a ton of books signed. I didn't show all of that. Mostly it was for the whatnot. I have Tuesdays and Thursdays. Six Layer Offerama, guys. Every Tuesday to Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Man, we are having a good old time. If you like these chats, man, the whatnot chats are freaking fire. And we're having a good old time and slanging comics, slanging SIGs. And I tell people, hey, on whatnot, join us on Fridays at Stash Wars Live so you guys can get the comprehensive signature price guide. Because I'm selling what I'm selling. And so if you want to know why, here's why on Stash Wars Live. But yes, join us if you're interested in comics and stuff like that. Now we got Marvel now, and the inventory is expanding. So I'm looking forward to that. But SCG, before we get out of here, any last reflections and anything you want to let people know about on your channel?
So hitting the con scene, similar to these two guys, we're gonna cross paths at various cons in the near future, so be checking out that. And I don't know if it was out to the masses, or maybe if Kazra is still in the chat, he can let everybody know. But I got an email that if go ahead and pay for my ticket now, I can actually get a discount for next year's ticket. So OAX is going to be moving into March. So I'm not sure how the other big con that happens to be in the same town, not to call it by name, but how that's going to affect with that. But I know it's moving into March for next year. But it has quickly become the show to be at. If you're an art fan, if you're a card fan, or if you're just a SIG fan, it's a great place to go. So,
absolutely. And Mark, man, what's on tap for you, man? Anything you can disclose?
Man, real quick, whether they want us back there next year or not, we're gonna be there because I had such a great time, and I guess making a trip out of Florida is a yearly thing now. So yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I do. I've been to Florida more times ever in my life in the past 3 years. It's been crazy.
I'm done with MegaCon though. Tomorrow, if you're in California, Dennis Cowan and Morgan Hampton are having a signing at where is it? Comics Den, I think. That's the one in Compton, right?
Yeah, are you going to that?
I'll be there.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about the DC Universe, the Milestone Universe thing. Yeah, man, a lot of people are talking about it. I think one of them are doing like a live signing right now and whatnot or something like that. That's cool. So you're gonna be there? Dope.
Me there. Anything else? If you guys know Gorillas and Tank Girl creator Jamie Hewlett. He has some an exhibit out here, the House of Kong. I just went to it. That shit's crazy. They have some of his original artwork from like the creation of gorillas and everything. So that's another thing. I don't think there's anything else that's really going on comic related. Oh, Jaime Hernandez is going to be at Skylight Books March 10th. So if you're a Jaime Hernandez Love and Rockets fan, go check that out. But that's about it.
Man, well, first off, man, I want to give Kazra a big shout out. One, for joining us months ago, him and Matt DiTullio, to take the time to explain OAX, because we wanted to know what was going on with it before we went out, and then extending the hospitality, inviting us there to cover the event. Had a great time. That's the type of environment I would like to be in all the time. That type of intimate environment. So I just want to just shout out to the whole, the CAF crew. Just want to shout them out once again. And I had a great time. And then for me, man, it's just mad busy. We just got interview multi-award winning novelist Tanana Reed Dew. If you're big into horror, she's one of the biggest horror writers in the world. Bram Stoker Award winner. So we interviewed her last night. We're working on Phil Hester right now, and lots of fun stuff coming up. I will be back next Friday because I gotta unpack MegaCon, because I will be going to MegaCon. So I'll be unpacking MegaCon in depth. I'm hoping to bring back Sam. So I think I'm gonna be staying with Sam. I hear so. I'm gonna be having fun, man, in Orlando again in a few weeks. So yeah. But with that said, guys, that's all for our show. Please smash the like button if you haven't subscribed to the Six Slayer Station. Please subscribe tonight. If you haven't subscribed to the Southern Comic Geek, please subscribe tonight. And like all of our streams, please make sure you do that. That is all for our show. I'm Mike the Six Slayer, speaking for Mark the Honorable Villain and Jason Southern Comic Geek. We're out. Peace.